Hello, hello, good evening, my fellow woke moralist. I am Bree, and this is Creation Watch. Welcome to the show. You are watching this recorded live from the Hive with my awesome live from the Hive audience over here in this side chat. If you want to be part of that live from the Hive audience, just get your little butt out of bed on Saturday morning and join us while we explore the depths of creation ideology and what it does to individuals' mind. Now, we've explored a lot of bizarre concepts about supernatural forces impeding on human life here in the real world. Is that happening? Is that a real thing? Well, I don't think so. But some people do. Some prominent people with a big platform that speak to thousands, millions of people every day, pushing the idea that demonic and angelic forces walk amongst us. So, I actually have a individual who you'll all recognize as soon as you see them that I've never covered here before because they were mostly too out there to really account for anything. But then they put out a book called The Great Reset. And they started plugging it. And I recently was privy to a interview that they did about it. So, without further ado, and he speaks like in a constant stream, so there's no break. So, finding a place to start where he starts talking about this woo stuff. Anyway, I just pop in. Here we go. This is Alex Jones from his interview, I Am Crazy, from the PBD podcast, episode 281, if you're interested.
To build a free market system where we don't make people be Christian, but they want to be Christian because that's the way they know that's going to be successful and empower them and have them be with God forever. And so it really is a fight, good versus evil. And now people that were agnostic, very famous people, are
hear that Trump speak. Very famous people, just people,
are having spiritual.
In the debate community, we call these weasel words. That's where you don't specifically say who you're referencing. You keep it vague. Many scientists agree that this. Some doctors say this. Some experts have been saying this.
Experiences. Some of them are having incredible experiences with like angels and the Holy Spirit and God. Others are literally don't believe anything, are laying in their beds, and a huge black shadow comes in and just rips off their shirt and just huge bloody slashes across them, and then just throws them up against the wall. And then they start finding out, well, okay, what do they do? And they go to a rabbi and he says, put this Kabbalah on and do this ritual. Doesn't help them. They finally go get born again. All of it leaves. And this is happening.
Go get born again and the demons will stop attacking you in your bed. Alex Jones, a professional grifter, is telling us that demons are attacking celebrities in their beds. And the only way that they're able to find reprieve is through being born again. Basically having some Southern Baptist guy dunk you in some water. Of course, this is Texas speaking. I believe Alex Jones is like East Texas.
With sane, well-known people that were, not atheists. They didn't hate Christians. They're like, come on, I don't really believe in God. And they're having the experience. Because if you don't have God around you as a defense shield, you are wide open. and the devil can't help it. And whatever this force, call it the devil, it's gotta, because if you're doing good.
Whatever this force calls the devil. Yes, demons. We have actually a weasel in the comment section. I was not meaning to be discriminatory against weasels, Dr. Tapioca Weasel.
Good work, but you don't know it's God and have God as literally a shield. It's like being in a submarine with screen doors. You're dead. Yep. And so this stuff's going to come in if you don't have God. And Alex, so that's why I'm talking about God, because I need to get closer to God. I need God. God is my refuge. God gets all the glory, not me.
Alex, you're saying accepting God, Jesus is the Lord and Savior. You're saying you have to accept Jesus. All right, well, I'm Jewish. respect. We're the OG Christians.
Well, I'm not putting no.
No, that's not what I'm asking.
No.
We have
It's funny because this guy like totally like tucks his tail. So when you see this among like social canines and stuff, they'll actually tuck their tail up underneath and cover their genitals. That's what he just did to Alex Jones.
a lot of Muslim friends, a lot of Islam. Andrew Tate just turned to a Muslim.
Abrahamic faith, the whole
that's what I'm asking. Judeo-Christian.
And I wasn't putting down the rabbi. This was a real story I was telling you. And
who is this? Who is the real story? Who was the celebrity that was attacked by demons in their bed at night and slashed across their chest, thrown against the wall, and then they went to a rabbi and cabal? Yeah, it didn't work. So they had some hillbilly dunk them in a river. Saved them. That was the answer. That's always the answer. To be splashed with magic water and be born again of Jesus Christ. That'll stop you from being attacked by demons.
And that didn't work. So I'm not saying it wasn't a judgment.
That's what I'm asking.
Like this engine cleaner worked great. This one didn't. I wasn't like.
Yeah. But your overall concept of faith and finding God, and a lot of you just.
Godseed, are you serious? Was it really Adam Sandler? I'm Googling that. If you troll me, that's a good one. Adam Sandler attacked by demons? Just pulls up Little Nicky. So, yeah. Go figure, Little Nicky, right?
Just said, sometimes I'm the God and sometimes I'm the devil and everything's going on right there. And everything that you've uncovered with these satanic rituals and everything at the one place up in California. Bohemian Grove. And you talked about they're praying to the devil and they're sacrificing the children and everything like this. Do you feel like it's just a fight of believing in God versus the devil?
100%.
Is that what it comes down to? Yeah,
archetypes. I mean, for people that are, I'm not going to try to just push.
Archetypes. So when you talk about archetypes, that they're not a real thing. It's like an idea of what a demon is would be an archetype. An idea of what an angel is would be an archetype. So an archetype would be, for an angel, would be like blonde hair, blue eyes, pale skin, right? That's the way that they're depicted in modern culture. So there's an archetype built around that, and demons like red skin and horns and all that. But to say archetype in the way that he's saying, like you make it real. Oh, it was Dave Chappelle.
It's nothing but Christianity people, but that's what I believe. That's what I know. Mm-hmm. But absolutely, the first step is to realize there is good and evil.
It was absolutely Rob Schneider. It was Rob Schneider.
There's stuff we don't see. There's other dimensions. And none of these globalists are atheists. They're all into the occult. They're all into weirdness. They're all super neurotic. And or they're super scared of God.
So I'm a globalist, and I'm an atheist. I think that I think that we should all form under one united human species instead of being all divided into stupid nations. I don't even understand why we do. I don't understand why we do that. It's weird. It's just the holdover from tribalism. Hopefully we'll move past it. Not in my lifetime, though.
I just don't want to hear about it, like Rupert Murdoch.
Let's actually, by the way, if you want to play this clip that he was talking about with Daniel Day-Lewis, and then let's go into the Bohemian Grove.
And it's in the first minute or so.
Yeah. Volume.
Okay, then don't worry
He was like, you put your weed in here.
about it. Good call. Okay,
That's a great scene.
Pause it, Rob. Okay, there you go. And just kind of go away from it. Okay, thank you, Andres, for that. So let's talk about Bohemian Grove. So,
Here we go. Bohemian Grove. This is where it gets freaking juicy. This is where it gets all freaking weird. And he starts talking about, the secret occult powers of the elite. It's like super cringe, and we're going to enjoy it right now.
For the audience that doesn't know, obviously Bohemian Grove has been done on by a lot of different people, but this is one of the first things that you did, almost like a vlog style. Before anybody was doing vlogs, Alex Jones was doing vlogs. This is a clip. Before we play this clip, can you tell everybody what this clip is all about before Rob plays it?
Sure. And again, people can search around and find HD versions of this at band.video. So, and I'm not telling you to go there, but if you go to band.video, you're welcome to use it all. And just type in Alex Jones, David Gergen, or Alex Jones, Bohemian Grove. You can find, it's not in HD, but it's in a lot better quality. But all this stuff's
Rob,
out there.
it's fine. At this point, don't go looking about it. We're okay.
Go now. I'm just telling folks. So it's a plug, but...
Yeah, it's Rob Schneider. That's what's happened to him. That's why he wears the little cap now all the time. He's hiding his angelic third eye.
So, but you're right. So, again, I'm a Christian. I believe in God, but God's kind of like something that happens on Sunday, and it's like a jacket I wear once a week. It's kind of like over here. I believe in God. I love Jesus. But, you know, devils and all this stuff, whatever.
Do you, though?
So, I've been on air a few years, 4 or 5 years, and John Ronson, when I'm out there doing a story about the Waco massacre, and we're digging up the soil and stuff to show that they did fire in incendiary grenades to set the place on fire. And we actually found some of those. So we're out there digging, and this British...
He's, thinking that, talking about the Waco massacre, if you're not familiar with that, it was pretty brutal and crazy.
Film BBC crew comes along, and he says, his name's John Ronson. He says, Alex, I hear that you've snuck into some military bases and been able to, and which I'd done and shown some martial law training that was going on. He said, we have liability, and they won't let me get into Bohemian Grove, but I have a lawyer that...
In other words, he has a long history of doing exposés about conspiracy theories and claiming that he's discovered, martial law training. Yeah, that's the kind. This was back in the 80s, so that never came to fruition. Yeah, when did we all of a sudden find ourselves under martial law? He's a conspiracy theorist. It's Alex Jones, of course, but yeah, they're going to put him in charge of this, and he gets really weird with that.
Works there, who actually has some of the passcodes and things, and how to not get kicked out by the Secret Service or the Monterey Sheriff Department. That's all over the place, like 50 of them in there at least that I saw, but also Secret Service and others, because presidents of them go there, and royalty and Prince Charles and all of it. And he said there's this big owl god, and they worship it on the 15th of July every year. I think they've now pushed it to later in July. But for 15 days in July, all these world leaders go there. It's 2,700 acre redwood grove. And he goes, I just need you to go in there with a hidden camera, and I need you to get us the footage, and then I need you to air it on your Access TV show, because my lawyers tell me, and he's being honest about all this, my lawyers tell me that then we'll be able, once it's fair use and out in the open, you can give us the authorization to use it, but you've got to air it first. And he said, how much money do you want? And I said, well, I don't. Okay, there's guys in the woods worshiping an owl. I said, is this the KKK or something? And he goes, no. It's very liberal. It was founded by Mark Twain, but then the president, Taft, took it over in 1900, which was all true. And I go, I've heard.
Founded by Mark Twain. And yeah, Mark Twain's as far as I'm aware, Mark Twain is an ardent atheist, right? Like, he was the atheist of his generation. So to say that they're worshiping some sort of owl god is a little silly. There is, as far as I know, there's an owl statue that they show, but as far as it being a god and such, it seems like a lot of, there's a lot of psychodrama attached to this.
Heard from some of the shortwave militia people that there's a thing called Bohemian Grove, and they worship an owl. And so I did research and called him back, and I said, yeah, I'll do it. He says, okay, well, we're going to go this next July. This is like a year later. And so it comes time, I fly out there, a little, DV cams just come out, this little compact camera, put it in the fanny pack. And basically it was all true. It happened. It was insane. And so you talk about making your faith stronger. Imagine the 5 hours I'm in there. So it's on the Russian River, totally beautiful. It's the biggest stand of redwood trees outside of the big national park in California.
I would love to go see the redwood trees. Somebody take me out to see the redwood trees. Take me on an adventure to the big forest of California. Or, wherever. Bohemian Grove, take me there. Sure.
1,700 acres of trees you could drive a truck through, okay? And so, and it's in the middle of a gorge and then goes out over the Russian River. So you can only get in one entrance, and it's a gorge. And the gorge...
The Bohemian club's all-male membership includes artists and musicians, as well as many prominent business leaders, government officials, former U.S. presidents, senior media executives, and people of power. Members may invite guests to the Grove. Guests may be invited to the Grove for either the Spring Jinx in June or the main July encampment. Bohemian Club members can schedule private day use events at the Grove at any time. It is not being used for club-wide purposes. Sounds like a elite camp thing, yeah.
The entrance is about 100 yards wide. Okay, and then there's hills that go up to it, and the most elite thing's called the chalet, where presidents and royalty go and have secret meetings. And I was never up at the chalet. I was down in the bottom, and I went back to the swimming platform, and then back to the front, and it was several miles in. And I got questioned several times by Secret Service. But just imagine, I get there, and it's copyright free, trademark.
I think secret societies are kind of funny, though. Hey, Iron Chariot here. Secret societies, like, because they dress up in their little costumes, and they do their rituals, and they're all over the place. They're secret societies, but people like Alex Jones are like, oh no, they're really summoning owl powers, and they're really worshiping a magical owl god, and it's it's clawing people in their sleep and whatnot, sending shadow demons after you. It's really weird.
You can use all my Bohemian Grove footage however you want. You can show it to people.
What's the best place to go to show some BTS, some behind the scenes?
I would say band.video, and I would just type in Bohemian Grove. Or it's on YouTube. You can type in Alex Jones Bohemian Grove, or Dark Secrets Inside Bohemian Grove, or The Order of Death's the second film I made about it. And it's colored.
Rob, just look for it on YouTube to see if it's easy to find it.
Yeah, you're welcome to show all the B-roll of it. And so
like, I tried looking it up, and I couldn't find anything substantial, just like stills and stuff. Not anything that he actually recorded either. Stuff other people claim to have taken pictures of.
Long story short, I can talk for 5 hours about Bohemian Grove. It's July 15th, 2020, and so they've told me some of the passcodes. They've got maps from the internal members that they give the members.
I think the Skull and Bones Society might be right-leaning enough that Alex Jones would be cool with it and think, oh, it's just a prominent club of executives doing executive stuff. It's only because Bohemian Grove is like a liberal thing that he's opposed to it. He thinks it's evil.
They gave me passcodes to different camps because it's like little camps of cabins and stuff, and like bars and things there that are built all over. There's over 100 camps. And so they had told me that I should try to walk through and use the passcode to get in to the guard shack. But
do you remember what the passcode was?
It was stuff like, I'm with the Hillbillies, Red Mountain. That was, I'm with the Hillbillies.
I'm Alex Jones. I'm here with the Hillbillies. All right.
Well, I chose that because that's the Bush's camp, the Texas camp. It's like a Texas camp that's kind of midway up. And that worked, and I had a few of the passcodes. It was like Hillbillies.
Were you shocked when it worked?
And then what's the rest of the passcode? Well, that's what camp you're at. The passcode was Red Mountain.
Yeah. Were you shocked when it worked? You're like, holy shit, that just worked.
Well, I'll tell the story. So,
oh my God, it worked.
So they pull up to the entrance, and there's like a bog and a little bit of a swamp right here off the road. And they go, okay, Alex, you're going to walk through. And I had a feeling, and I saw that they were pulling cars into park in a parking lot over here and picking them up on these big flatback buses that had the tops cut off, like 1940s buses. Open air buses. And so it's like a double decker, but one deck is just open. And I made a split second decision to step off and go through the barbed wire fence, because this is before the checkpoint, and just act like I was in the parking lot and get on one of those. And so we just sailed through.
That's what the books there is what he's on this show to talk about. But he's talking about all this crazy demonic stuff. It's wild. I saw this and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm covered. And I want to see what he has to say, and I want to share it with my Hive.
Oh, wow. Because Mike Hansen, my producer, also went in with me because it would be better to have two people. People aren't usually alone. And Mike is big and fat like me now, too. He's a great guy. but he was real.
AR, he didn't swallow a frog because the frogs are gay. You don't need a gay frog.
Really good-looking guy, and I was really good-looking. So I didn't understand what Nick...
You hear that Alex Jones saying he was really good-looking. I've seen young Alex Jones. He wasn't, not in my opinion. In my humble opinion...
had said about it. I hadn't done that much research. Once we get in, immediately people start whistling at me.
Oh man.
And so
Whistling like in a sexual
yes,
way?
and the workers are whistling. This is I mean, Nixon called it the most GD, faggy thing you've ever seen. And
His
so
quote.
That's a quote. That's a quote.
that's a White House
If you want to
tape.
play
Yeah,
it,
listen to this.
play it.
This is his audio.
Let's look at Northern California. You understand? Yeah. You know what San Francisco just gone. It's clear over. I know that, but it isn't. It isn't just down in the randy part of town. But the upper class in San Francisco is that way. The Bohemian Grove that I attend from time to time. The Easterners and the others that come there. But it is the most faggy goddamn thing you will ever imagine in San Francisco crowd because it's just terrible.
It's just terrible.
And he was
Yeah, I'm not surprised that Nixon called it that. I'm not surprised that Nixon, a total conservative weirdo, like that wants to control what other people do, was against the queer community in San Francisco.
quite the man's man, and could have been for my people that know Nixon was supplying with the women. He was quite the opposite of homosexual, and the reason he had the nickname Tricky Dick too. But the whole point is, well, that's a little inside lore.
Hey,
But anyways, I'm not gonna. Anyways,
so people are whistling at you and trying to like.
So you're
yeah. So
at the time you're young, you're hot, you're a young Alex Jones, you're on the scene. This is year 2000. They're whistling. Boom.
yeah. So I'm immediately. So we get off, and I'm like, okay, I got a map here. I'm gonna go see the owl. I'm gonna make sure this is real because the pond's supposedly only like a half mile down. So I'm going in the gorge, and people are walking by, and I'm like, that's a senator. That's a. I know who's that. You recognize people because you've seen them, but you're trying to think who is that. They're basically all famous, and
Was Snoop Dogg there? I hope Snoop was there. That'd be cool.
you're walking. Is that a Hollywood guy? That's a major musician. They bring them all in. As
Snoop.
guests. It's 1,000 members, but most guests bring one guest. The actual members bring one guest.
You
So
get a plus one.
It's like 2,000 people. And so I saw Clint Eastwood when I was in there. I saw Danny Glover. But you want to say, hey, Clint Eastwood, but you don't do that. So it's like,
what
oh,
other
it's Clint
names?
Eastwood, holy-
What other famous people did you see while you
a
were
lot
there?
of my don't even. I didn't go back in memory, but it was quite a few. And like, there's that senator. There's like, oh, God.
He's like calling people out, saying, "Oh, this person was there and that person was there." And,
Gosh, that senator. I was like, kind of.
Oh my God.
So all of a sudden I'm walking by this big pond. Like, there's the big 45-foot owl. Oh my gosh. And they already had it like getting it ready over by the side, like this band, like a mummy, but like a child. The mock sacrifice they burned. So I saw that. I'm like, okay. Because later people snuck back in, but never got video, but they got photos of it too. So over the years I've learned more. So I go back down to the platform. It takes me like a mile and a half back. This big platform above the Russian River. It's beautiful. And all of a sudden, hey, what are you guys doing? And it's the sheriff. And he's got another sheriff's deputy with him. And we're like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, just checking it out. It's beautiful. They're kind of looking at us like, yeah. And we know what you guys are because we're like preppily dressed, you know. And I guess their gaydar was on, but I'm not gay, but they thought I was.
You got the fanny pack too, so that kind of.
What did the sheriff mean? We know
kinda
what
had
you
it-
guys are.
I think that it was confirmed and leaked conversations between Alex Jones and his wife. That Alex Jones is not just bisexual, but he's also like into black men. According to the conversations that was leaked about him and his wife. Now, I'm not like one to go spreading bullshit about people, right? But the anti-gay rhetoric and the harm that this guy's done in general, it's like the bottom line is, hey, it's hypocritical at its core.
What did that mean? We
was
know
like-
what you guys are.
No. He's like, what are you guys doing? And I'm like, oh, we're with the hillbillies. How are you doing? And
In that type of tone of voice.
yeah, and he goes,
Hillbilly.
he's like, what's the passcode? I go, Red Mountain. He goes, all right, well, have fun. So they go back.
So funny.
And then we go back, and I see like this big bar and music, and all these guys walking around with wine and stuff. It's like, let's go in there. I want to drink. So I'm like, this really whet my appetite. I'm nervous. So I go red wine. I go, red wine. And then guys are coming over, they're talking to me, and they're looking at me, and like, people are like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, whoa, this is like a gay bar. So I go, okay, I'm getting out of here. Me and Mike's like, what's going on here? And like, he goes, one of those guys just pinched me on the butt. I swear this happened. And so we go.
He's so like overselling how attractive him and his friend were. I've been at like gathering, not Bohemian Grove, but gatherings where there's gay people, and people are not like sexually assaulting each other all over the place. It's don't be weird at these gatherings. If you go to a gathering where there's where it's a pride or just a celebration of the queer community, or just someplace where there happens to be a turnout of queer people, don't be weird and like grope people and stuff. That's weird. I don't for a second believe that that's what happened here. I think he's just trying to oversell how sexy he thinks he was. But yeah, anyway.
Go out, all of a sudden, it's Secret Service in like blue vests.
And these guys believe it on its face because to them, homosexual people are just hype. That's all they are. Their whole existence is to be gay and to want to be gay with straight men, to want to try to like grope on straight men and stuff and make them uncomfortable. That's their idea. These, especially this older generation here. But I get called out a lot for blaming it on generational stuff. But there's old ideas that hold over easier in an old generation. But they do seep into new generations. So let's keep shedding light on them.
Yes, what's your name? And I'm like, oh, Alan Johnson, what's up? And they didn't ask for it. They're like, well, who are you with? I'm with the Hillbillies. And they go, okay, they didn't ask the code word, any of that. And so that goes on. And then we get questioned again. And this time, 2 golf carts pull up with more sheriff's deputies. And these are younger ones. They're like, who are you guys with? Were you just down? Yeah, I'm here with the Hillbillies. What's going on? I'm like, yes. They said, all right. And I realized I was going uphill towards the chalet, and I said, maybe you're not supposed to go up here. This is like the bushes are down here. This is like royalty and people up here.
And just to make sure, are you filming this the whole time?
No, because they only had 1 hour tapes in this little camera. So I kind of had an hour getting in. I got a little bit at the swimming platform and stuff. It's a 2 hour film, and then I got some right as it was getting dark, which is incredible. And then I got the ritual, and it ran out magically right at the end. So, but this is the rest of the story because how you talk about it for 10 hours, but it's amazing.
Magical.
So I tell Mike, I said we've got to hide, and there's this another crappy cabin. I go, but that's a worker cabin. And so I go in there, and Mike's like, this is nice. Let's just stay in here. And I say, no, we got to get under the building. They're going to find us in there. There's cameras. So we go out under the back in case they've got cameras and open up like a access panel, and we get under this thing, and there's like millipedes and spiders. He goes, I don't want to be in here. I said, we're staying.
Cool. I want to go explore the millipedes and spiders underneath the camp at the Bohemian Grove. Please.
Stay in here, buddy. We're about to get our cover blown. Okay. Yeah, there's footage I got, or photos of similar to the footage I got. So I'm up above that because the chalet.
This is just like, theater stuff, theatrics that these people do. That the rich and elite can have so much money and that they can have a massive dinner held in the middle of the woods with all kinds of tables. And I think there's like the ritual stuff they talk about, all the theatrics.
Plays up here, like we're talking steep in these golf carts that are going by. We're hiding up in a thing up above that. Starts getting dark, and I go, okay, let me reload the camera, get ready. I have a little hole in it here with a hole in the front I can lift up. This is makeshift where I can hit the button on the back. And I say, let's go down. It's twilight. And we're walking down. There's bats flying in the air and stuff. It's real beautiful. And we're coming down this road, and there they're playing dun 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 dun. And there's an orchestra playing. And they're all eating, and there's these giant tables, and I can just smell the food, and that's looking good. I'm like 100 yards above, looking down like a cat. But now it's getting dark, so I feel safe, and everybody's drunk by then. And there goes Danny Glover walking by. And there's a couple of these really old men. And I'm not trying to be racial and feed into the whole leftist thing, but this is the old white guys. They go, I can't believe they let that GD in here. It's all right. So this is the kind of stuff you're picking up. And
Danny Glover's the only black guy in there at the time?
I think they have more now, but this is 2000. This is like, there's like
90-year-old
90-year-old billionaires.
Like,
what's that black person doing here?
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all if there would be racist people there, but
this actually happened. So, but it was like more like, what's that doing? And like, it's all right, it's all right.
Native atheists only if it's moderated by Hulk Hogan.
And I think at a distance I saw Vernon Jordan or something too. But the point is that it's like Bilderberg, he's always the black guy that's there, and big lobbyist. And so that happens, and that's when I saw Clint Eastwood, because now everybody's going down to the water. So you go around the owl on this bank to then see the owl about 60, 70 yards away. And so now it's getting dark, and
so the obsession with the owl is so weird. It sounds like it's just a big statue of an owl, or maybe a wood carving of an owl, which, whatever. But if he can demonstrate that they were worshiping it.
High priest comes out in his white robes and red cape, and he's got the staff, and he says, "Let the dead who were here before us, their spirits be here." And so they go through like this cornucopia of like Babylon gods, and they summon all these different gods, and they say, but we summon the most powerful that got us to renew us the next year and give us strength and rebuild our bodies and give us the thing we need. And we bring an offering forward to our God so that we will be able to, put all of our sin and trouble onto it. And then this open, ornate.
Take a breath, Alex. Jesus. He just keeps talking and talking. Let's look here. So yeah, there's some theatrics going on, people with red robes. I don't know. I'm not like, people are always like, oh, look at this all the time about these theatric stuff that people do. There was a opening ceremony to the European Games that we covered back at New Year's. People just freaking out about performance art. It's really weird.
I'd say like 18th century British carriage comes out with big glass sides with a coffin on it, like a 5-year-old size coffin, like a 5-year-old child would be in. and they a bunch of priests, like with a whole bunch of guys with torches. I got all this on video. Come out, guys with torches in front of the people. I think it was like 4 people bearing the coffin, and they take the effigy of the child out and put it in front of it. And then and later on it was the voice of Walter Cronkite. He did it like right before he died. And so it's like, "Be gone, Duncan!" And it's like, "We forward defeat you now!"
Yeah, screaming. It's on. Yeah.
And then it's like, "Please don't kill me, no, please!" Like, "Yes, I'm gonna kill you!" And I'm sitting there going,
See how red he's getting? He gets like all worked up about this stuff. It's wild.
like it's a play. They're not taking this serious. And I'm having to kind of stand up on the bottom of the redwood knobs because all these guys are bigger than me. I'm only like 5'10", trying to get the camera over. So I'm kind of like up on the tree, and there's these guys that are looking at me, all these old men, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "Oh, and where's Clint Eastwood?" I just saw him, and these old men are sitting there, just going. Because like I'm a Christian, but you go to like a Holy Roller church, and it's great and it's wonderful, but they're like enraptured, and you're like, wow, these people were, but like in a satanic type deal. They were just going, and I'm like,
calm down. It's a dinner theater, bro.
And I'm like, hey, this is pretty cool.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, and Mike was kind of, hey, how's it going? They're like, this is important.
Oh my
God. And so you're like, well, they're dead serious.
Are
And,
they,
and this is the Karl Rove of 5 administrations now, of like 4 at the time. And
David Gergen has
4 years later at the RNC in New York.
Yeah.
And I've got full credentials and stuff, and I'm waiting to go in and do more interviews on Radio Row.
Real quick, before we get to this, the guys, are they praying? Are they in the rapture? These devilish faces
they're not
that
doing
they're
like
making.
people do at a Christian church.
Yeah, well, they're on the roller coaster.
Yeah, well, I mean, they feel the Spirit of God. It's good to do that. And reach out to God.
So this is
They're standing there going like,
They're possessed.
Yeah, you snort the devil. You absorb God through your hands, like you got like like your hands are leaves absorbing sunlight for food. You can get God that way, but when it comes to the devil, you have to snort him mainline. Yeah, or you could shoot up the devil maybe.
They're soaking it all in.
By the way, where is this when you confront him?
New York, Alex?
What location?
This is Madison Square Garden.
Okay, let's see.
The VIP entrance.
Go ahead and play it, Rob.
And that's the Bohemian Grove. And back in, what was it, 1996, when you joined as a Clinton advisor, the Republicans were criticizing you. Oh, what about Bohemian Grove? And then you countered them by saying, hey, I don't run around in the woods naked. What did that mean? Here is the before-mentioned Washington Times article where he said, I didn't run around naked like they do.
I don't know what quote you're referring to. I'm not aware of any quote like that. Listen, I am a happy member of the Bohemian Grove. I like the folks who come there, and it's really inappropriate for me to talk about the group beyond that.
Well, thank you. Have you been there for the ceremony with the cremation of care?
Frankly, I don't think that's something I need to talk to you about.
This is it.
We thank thee for thy adjuration.
What? Yeah.
That's Walter Cronkite's voice. He later got documents, their internal documents.
Have you been there for the ceremony with the cremation of care?
Frankly, I don't think that's something I need to talk to you about.
Really?
That's right.
Well, I'm Alex Jones, and I snuck in there in 2000. I'm the guy that blew it wide open.
Look how mad he
Got
gets.
the video. It's been on national TV.
Well, I just respect you for that.
You do?
I do.
Because they got mad.
There's
He
a
knew
lot
it
of
was.
big public officials going in there.
You
Don't we deserve to know?
I don't know anything about you, and I don't know anything about your film. But if you go in there with an understanding, you violated that understanding by releasing that film, and I don't respect you for that.
Really? But we have public officials
I'm
there.
sorry, you took an understanding when you went in there that you would not do that film. And did you have an understanding when you went in there?
It's a secret society,
Did you
Alex.
crash it?
Yes.
Yeah, and it has no trespassing signs there too, doesn't it?
No, they put them
Yes.
up after.
Oh, I'm
I just
sorry.
walked in.
I'm sorry, sir. I've been there before. I know what the circumstances are, and I'm sorry you violated the understanding.
They did put them up after.
That was not a gentlemanly thing to do.
But what about the ritual? Is the ritual genuinely?
What's wrong with the ritual? They're both being silly about it, but whatever.
Like, what is the dude? He looks like a movie. It's like Eyes Wide Shut.
Sir, everything. I don't owe you.
Oh, Jared, did you miss Mel's Hole? That was Cryptic Corner today. We had Mel's Hole on earlier.
This comment. This is what's called ambush journalism, and I disrespect you for that as well. So thank you. And goodbye.
The ritual?
That's none of your damn business.
Oh, he would have hit you if he could, Alex.
That's right.
Look at
Listen. You go
I was trying
around
to get
and
him- I was
make
scared.
understandings with people and violate them. You ambush people on the streets, and that's an inappropriate form of journalism. If you wish to practice that, that's fine, but don't ask others to respect you for it. If you want to, you can do. You're a free American, like anything you want. If you want to be uncivil and rude and ungentlemanly, that's up to you. But don't expect the rest
You
of
guys
us to
are setting
say, "Oh, well,
policy
you're."
in there, Mr. Gergen.
I'm sorry, nobody says policy in there. We try to be gentlemen, and obviously, you don't belong there.
Weaving spiders coming out here? Yeah, that is a three-pointer.
Anyway, yeah, I don't care that these people meet in their elite clubs and look at an owl statue for however long they're looking at it and do their performances and burn an effigy. I don't care. You think that there's some sort of demonic reality behind all of it. It says more about how I feel about you as a journalist than I do, because you're spinning this yarn that because these elites do dress up stuff, like the same stuff Skull and Bone Society and all these other secret societies do, that you're not flipping out about. Yeah, it just seems like you're trying to paint a certain class of individuals in a certain way, and I'm not buying it that I do buy that they're probably shady as hell, and a lot of shady things maybe have happened there, but I don't think that there's actual demonic powers passing through. No, I don't think that's a real thing. Anyway, that was Alex Jones on the Bohemian Grove on Creation Watch today. A little something different. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't always cover cult or cult stuff like this, but and Creation Watch, but I'm starting to branch it out a little bit more. So yeah, we shall see. I think that this was overblown. Anyway, don't go anywhere though, because we got more show to come. All right, thank you so much for watching Creation Watch with me today, and hope you remember to be kind and take care, and I will see you next time.
I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. My children aren't going hungry. I'll do it. I'll drink your blood. And I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like size it up? I'm gonna haul him up by chain. Chop his ass up, size it up. I'm gonna haul him up by chain. Chop, 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 chop. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I'll barbecue your ass flat. I will cook your ass up so fast, and I'll tell them, oh, I killed a cow out back, baby. You think Christ would eat somebody? He would never do that. I will. I'm ready to hang them up, gut them and skin them and chop them up. You know what? I'm ready. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. And that's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first. I swear to God, if it's the last thing I do, I'm going to get my hands around your throat.